let's put ourselves in someone's shoes for a minute. Imagine you're a young doctor, already feeling kind of lost and cynical about your whole career. Then, in the dead of night, you get a call. A call to a birth that is going to push you to your absolute breaking point. Today, we're diving into one single grueling night from A.J. Cronin's powerful story, Birth, a moment where a doctor's personal despair collides head-on with a family's desperate hope. So the story kicks off right here. It's almost midnight in a small Welsh mining town, and the mood is instantly tense. You've got this man, Joe Morgan, just pacing back and forth, anxiously waiting for the doctor. His wife's in labor, and you get the feeling this isn't just another house call. No, this is a plea, filled with years and years of waiting. And this is the central conflict right out of the gate. On one hand, you have Dr. Andrew Manson. He's young, but he's already feeling completely drained, totally disillusioned with his life after a bad evening. And on the other hand, you've got the Morgans, who have poured every ounce of hope they have into this one child after waiting for nearly 20 years. The emotional stakes are just sky high. So, as Andrew follows Joe through these dark, quiet streets, he's totally lost in his own head. He's thinking about his own problems, completely oblivious to the fact that this one call, this one night is about to change everything for him. When they get to the house, Joe Morgan stops. He says he won't go inside. His voice is strained, you can tell, but his words, wow, they carry so much weight. This isn't just him being polite. It's a profound act of faith, and he's placing it all squarely on this young doctor's shoulders. Inside that little bedroom, the air is thick with tension. Andrew takes one look and knows this is going to be a while. He's going to have to wait. And as the minutes tick by, his own exhaustion and that heavy, listless feeling he's been carrying around all night just starts to take over. And his mind just starts to drift, not to the medical case in front of him, but to all the relationships he sees crumbling around him. He thinks about his friends and colleagues, and all he can conjure up are what he calls these dismal failures. It's like he's building this case in his head against love and marriage itself. And this is the real battle raging inside him, isn't it? His logical, cynical brain is looking at all the evidence and concluding that marriage is just a trap. But then there's his heart, and his heart is holding on to this image of Christine, the woman he loves. He can't make the two things fit, and it just leaves him feeling confused and kind of bitter. He gets pulled out of this dark mental spiral by the voice of the baby's grandmother, and her words just slice right through his self-pity. They're a sharp reminder of the very real, very tangible hope that's right there in the room with him. This isn't some abstract problem. This is about a family's 20-year-long dream. Then, at 3:30 in the morning, the wait is finally over. After a long, harsh struggle, the moment of birth is here, and Andrew's real work is about to begin. And then, a gut punch. Total disaster. All that waiting, all that hope, it just evaporates in this one horrifying moment. The child is born, but there's no life. A shiver of pure horror runs through Andrew as he stares at the perfectly formed, but completely still, baby boy. In that same instant, the situation gets even worse. He's faced with an impossible choice. There's a slim, theoretical chance he could revive the child. But when he looks over, the mother, Susan Morgan, is collapsing. Her pulse is almost gone. Her life is hanging by a thread. So who does he save? There is literally no time to think. The decision is made without thinking. It's pure instinct. And it's a fascinating moment, right? All his medical training, that core instinct to save a life, it just overrides everything else. All his personal cynicism, all his confusion. He hands the lifeless baby to the nurse and throws every ounce of his energy into saving the mother. He manages to save the mother. She's safe. But the crisis is not over. Not even close. Andrew spins around and asks the question that hangs in the air. Where's the child? The second battle is about to begin. The nurse, having already given up, had hidden the baby under the bed. He pulls him out. He sees the pale skin, the limp body, and a diagnosis flashes in his mind, asphyxia pallida. And crucially, he remembers a case he'd seen once, a treatment someone had tried. A tiny flicker of a plan begins to form. He starts barking orders. Get me hot water, cold water. What happens next is just this frantic, desperate race against time. He's plunging the tiny body from the icy water into the steaming bath and back again, like a madman trying to shock life back into him. 15 minutes of this frantic work, and Nothing. Sweat is blinding him, his arms are aching, and there is still no breath. And this raging hopelessness just starts to crush him. He can feel the midwife and the grandmother watching him, their silence just screaming that it's useless. The despair in the room is just absolute. The midwife finally breaks. She's seen enough. She whimpers that the child is stillborn, basically begging him to stop. At this point, for everyone else in that room, all hope is gone. But Andrew, he doesn't stop. He can't. Even though he feels beaten, totally exhausted, he digs down deep and makes one last, desperate effort, crushing the little chest between his hands. And then, it happens. It's like a miracle. Right there, beneath his hands, that tiny chest gives a short, convulsive little heave. That sudden jolt of life is so shocking, so exquisite, it almost makes him faint. He redoubles his efforts, spurred on by that one sign. Then comes another heave, and another. The child is gasping. The pale skin is turning pink. A little bubble of mucus comes from one tiny nostril. Life is flooding back into the little body. It's actually happening. And then, the baby lets out a cry. That sound just shatters the tension in the room. The nurse, who had given up completely, just breaks down, sobbing hysterically with pure, unbelievable relief. It is this incredible triumph against absolutely impossible odds. Weak, dazed, Andrew hands the crying child to the nurse. He looks around the chaotic room, puts on his jacket, and heads downstairs. And out on the street, Joe Morgan is still there, still waiting. His voice is thick with exhaustion, but he gets the words out. Both all right. Just two simple words, but they carry the monumental weight of the entire night. As he steps outside, the first miners are already walking to the morning shift. A new day is dawning. And as Andrew walks home, slow and spent, this profound realization just washes over him. It completely eclipses all the confusion and doubt he felt earlier. He knows he didn't just perform a medical procedure. He went to war with death, and he won. And in that victory, he has found a sense of purpose that feels, for the very first time, completely and utterly.
Prepared by K. Rajendra Prasad.